What up, nation? I'm Rockvar here with another DCUO video, and today we're going to talk about Game Update 118, which just went live, and you may be as surprised as I am to dive into the patch notes and see what's going on in the game. Obviously, now be prepared up front, this is a rant video. You can probably tell by my face, I am not at all thrilled with what's happening, and so I'm going to try and be as what would we call it? Neutral-ish. I'm going to be neutral-ish. I'm going to try and not get angry during this video and just lay out what it is, but there will be opinions probably flying, and I apologize if you're not used to seeing this side of me, but it is what it is. So, and this is coming from a player who has literally had a subscription to this game for 11 years. There's been like maybe a couple of times that our subscriptions have dropped, and we currently have 3 legendary subscriptions. There's been a couple of times when they maybe have been dropped, maybe due to financial purposes or the change of a bank account that we forgot to update and just stuff like that. But for the most part, we have been subbed now for 11 years, and yeah, there are times when we have literally gone hungry to keep our sub going. And so this isn't just the opinion of some random player. I mean, we've literally sat in our house with no food to play this game before. As sad as that sounds, it's true. Selling our comic book collection and things to keep the game afloat, or to keep our subs afloat. So anyway, looking at Game Update 118, here's what's getting ready to happen, or what has already happened, and we all have no choice but to suffer with. I'm going to skip just to the part that I'm furious about. Everything else I'm not going to worry about. You can read that for yourself. This is on the forums now, so you can go and check it out if you want to read through it for yourself. So this is as it pertains to early end-game scaling and buffs. We'll start with the positive. The positive. They raised the stat ceiling for all tiers so that downscaled players have a combat rating that is 15 higher than enemy PCs. So that's up from 10. So we get an additional 5 CR to help us feel less weak in this stat clamped content. Here's the part where I kind of go, pew! Players who are being scaled down and use Omnibus, so that's us in-game players, will benefit more from the early in-game buff than those who custom play. Okay, so I've confirmed what that means already. I'm not asking. There will be people out there that will say, well, it doesn't mean what you think it means. No, I've already confirmed what it means before I went ahead and made the video. What it means is, if you play custom play, there's a buff that you are not going to get. So you are going to be made more powerful if you play random play through Omnibus than you are if you queue for missions that you want to do with your friends. So if you go into play and you say, I want to do gates, and you queue for gates, when you get in gates, you're going to be less powerful than the guy who's been playing for 2 weeks. Essentially, I mean, I'm just being sarcastic there, but you're going to be less powerful than the guy or gal who queued through the Omnibus. Now that seems fair. It seems like you spent your hard-earned money for the past 11 years for that to work in your favor. The next part to that is players who are being scaled down and use custom play will benefit fully from early end game if at least half of your group is being scaled up. So if you go into a mission using custom play and half of your group essentially shouldn't be there to begin with, you're going to get a bit of a buff. You got made weak so that you could then be slightly buffed to help your group. Well, thank you for that. Players being scaled up, so the people who are already there that shouldn't be because they essentially haven't earned it. And I don't mean to sound like a dick with that, but, seriously, if you just started the game a month ago, you definitely shouldn't be doing some of the content that's you're being scaled up into. Yeah, it's fun and that's great, and I'm glad you get to enjoy it, but it's obviously at the expense of others, so I wouldn't feel too great about it if it was me. So players being scaled up in on-duty content will benefit from a damage buff. So not only are they getting help by being scaled up, now they're getting a damage buff in 2-player, 4-player, and 8-player content. So your tank, your healer, your controller, your guy who doesn't know what he's doing is getting a damage buff while you're being clamped. With the stats that you've spent 10 years earning. I mean, I'm getting mad just saying it. Okay, let's move on. Players being scaled up in on-duty content can block to heal if they're below 50% health. So the player, again, that wouldn't normally be in the content because they're getting scaled up and helped to get through it, we're going to go ahead and give them the ability to block and heal themselves as well. Meanwhile, the other guys that's been playing for 10 years and subbing for 10 years and building his character for 10 years, he just gets to die. It says this is similar to the benefit provided by Rollless buff when the group didn't have a healer. Okay. And here's the last piece that doesn't affect me because I stopped caring about doing elite content a long time ago, because obviously it doesn't pay to be elite because you're going to get the shit clamped out of you when you go in any other content. Players in elite versions of content have increased stat piercing when scaled down. Again, would not be an issue if you were not scaled down. So again, we're being clamped so that we can be slightly helped. So that this guy or gal can be helped a lot, and for some reason make content more relevant. I don't know how that works. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not thrilled about it, and I can tell you there's going to potentially be 3 less subs for DCUO coming up here real soon, because I haven't been playing the game much as it is, and now I just really don't want to. The only thing that's making me hang on here is this next DLC looks pretty good. So, if I hang out long enough, I'll get buffed enough to be in it, I guess. So that's our video for today. Take from it what you will. Hope you enjoy, and try to play on.